Good morning everybody, it's Jude Lennon here with Little Lamb Tales and of course Lammy. Welcome to another of our storytelling sessions. This week we're going all around the world with stories, so each time I do my storytelling we're going to go to 3 different countries. Okay, so today we've got some lovely countries in the bag and we'll find out where they are when we pull the things out. As you can see, there's a bit of a clue actually to one of the countries because I've asked Rory to come along and he kind of looks like a Chinese dragon, I think, so maybe that's a clue as to which one of the countries that we might be visiting today. Right then Lammy, are we ready to do our welcoming song? Remember, if you've not seen this before, it's really easy to pick up. Okay, we ready? Here we go everybody. Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? Hello everyone, how are you? How are you today? And if you're feeling fine, let's see your thumbs. If you're feeling pretty good, give yourselves a pat on the back. If you're ready for stories, give yourselves a smile and a wriggle and say yay! Okay, excellent. Right then, let's see what's in the bag this morning then, Lammy, shall we? Okay, you ready? Oh, you're not going to fall off, are you, Lammy? Here we go. Let's see. Right then, now this first story is an old Roman story. So Rome is in Italy. So this is from the time when the Romans were in charge of a lot of the world actually. They had what was called an empire. And this is the story of Neptune and Minerva. And they are a god and a goddess in Roman mythology. Here we go. Right then, I'll just pop my little tree there. Brilliant. Okay. Oh, and Mark says, I hope that Lammy and I are okay and they're all fine. We're absolutely fine, Mark, and we're glad to hear that you are too. Here we go. Right then, now you know this story's from a long time ago, so you know how it begins. Let's go. Long, 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 all together, long ago, far away from here in the Roman Empire, there were lots and lots of gods and goddesses, and they were in charge of lots and lots of different things. Some of them were in charge of the stars, and some were in charge of the sea, and some were in charge of the crops, and so on. Now, Minerva was the goddess of wisdom. She was in charge of being wise and thinking carefully and thoughtfully. Neptune was the god of the sea. He was in charge of the waves and all the animals who lived in there. And so they both had their strengths and their powers in various ways. Now, back then, villages and towns could only choose one god or goddess to be their special deity that they would make a little temple for. But the gods and goddesses, they could have as many villages and towns as they liked. So they used to have a bit of a competition between themselves to see who could have the most. Neptune loved the idea of having the most towns and villages dedicated to him, so he'd always try to find new ones to add to his list. And he'd spotted a village high up on the cliffs overlooking the beautiful sea that he was in charge of. And so he swam across the ocean, he fussed himself out of the water up the cliff, and he said to the villagers, "Hello, would you like me to be your special god?" And the villagers, wow, they were very excited. Fancy Neptune coming to see them and asking if he could be their special god. But just then, Minerva arrived and she said, "Oh, I spotted this village from afar and I thought what a pleasant spot it is, and I would love to be your goddess." "Oh no," thought the villagers, "how can we choose between the two? If we choose Minerva, Neptune may be cross and he could send storms. And if we choose Neptune, Minerva may be cross and she may not send her wisdom to help us when we need it. What on earth could we do?" The villagers were very, very worried. Minerva could see this and she said, "Look, I tell you what, we will each give you a special gift and you can decide which is the best gift. And whoever gives the best gift, they will be the god or goddess for your town or village. Does that seem fair?" "It does," said the villagers. "What do you say, Neptune?" "Yes," said Neptune, "I think that is most fair." "Excellent. What will you give, Neptune?" asked Minerva. "I know what I'll give." And he stretched his hand high up onto the cliff above the village and he did a little hole and out came a waterfall and it poured down and through the village. Fresh water was very, very important, and this was a wonderful gift. But when the villagers tasted the water, oh, it was salty. So it wasn't fresh water. Oh dear. They didn't want to say anything in case they upset Neptune, but Minerva could see that actually his gift was not that special. Instead, she gave a little olive tree and planted it, and the tree grew with Minerva's power quickly, 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 until it spread out and covered a lot of the area of the village. And the villagers stood underneath it. It gave them shelter from the sun, and it also gave them olives, which they could make food with. This was definitely the best gift. Neptune looked at Minerva and he said, "You are very, very wise, Minerva. This is indeed the best gift. The villagers should choose you. I will bow out." And so Neptune bowed, and he went back to his ocean and back down into the depths with the creatures below. And Minerva became the special goddess for that village. And you know that an olive tree, even to this day, is still Minerva's special symbol. The end. Give yourselves a clap, everybody. Well done. Fantastic. Hi, Ali. Hope you're okay and keeping well. Right then, let's see what is going to come out of the story sack next. Right. I'm just going to hold this up so hopefully you can see it a little bit more clearly. This is a tea tin, and it belonged to my grandmother. And when I was a little girl, I was fascinated with this tea tin, and now it belongs to me. Now, my grandma used to keep real tea, loose tea in this. I've got red bush tea in here. So I like to think that my Chinese tea caddy is now holding tea bags from Africa. And I like that because it's representative of our whole world. We're all one world living together and sharing the earth together. Right, fantastic. So this story is from China, and it's called The Magic Paintbrush, and it goes like this. Now, it happened a long time ago, so you know how to begin. Let's go. Long, 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 all together, long ago, far away in China, there was a poor man. He did not have a lot. He had just a small mattress to sleep on at night and nowhere to put his things other than piled up by his bed. But that man had a special, special gift. He could draw and paint beautifully. He had to just use a stick and some mud and some colours from the flowers and plants, because what he really, really wanted more than anything else was a paintbrush. And every night he would say, "Oh, please, all I want is a paintbrush. If I had a paintbrush, I could paint so much better. All I want is a paintbrush." Well, one day, the strangest thing happened, because when he woke up, lying on the floor next to his bed, there was a paintbrush. The man couldn't believe it. He snatched it up and he looked at it. His very own paintbrush. He could not wait to get started, and so he found some paper and he put it up and he started to paint. He painted the trees that were right in front of his house, and he painted them and stood back and said, "It's finished." And then the trees came to life off the painting and joined the other trees outside his house. "This is extraordinary," he said. He thought, was that a one-off? So he turned and he started to draw some flowers and paint some flowers. He painted the flowers in beautiful colours. He stood back and he said, "It's finished." And the flowers were suddenly there in front of his eyes, swaying in the breeze. "I think I truly have something magical and a wonderful gift here," he said. Now, the man was a very kind man, and he could have used this skill to paint the things for himself, but he wanted to help other people. And so he went to the centre of the village where he knew that the water was running low, and he painted a beautiful river. Let's paint the river. And it gushed down through the village, and he stood back and he said, "It's finished." And of course the river burst to life, filled with fish and goodness and all the other things that rivers are full of, and fresh drinking water for the village. He decided he would take this gift further. So he went to the next village and he heard that their cows had not been well. So he drew more cows in the fields. He stood back, he said, "It's finished." And all the cows came to life. Shall we moo like the cows? Moo! And the villagers were delighted. They now had a happy, healthy herd of cows. The man kept walking. Let's go. He walked to the next village. And the next village, they had a problem too. Their fruit trees were not bearing fruit. So he stood back and he painted the trees with the fruit just ready to be picked. And he stood back and he said, "It's finished." And the fruit trees were there in front of their very eyes with the fruit just waiting to be picked. The villagers thanked him kindly. Just as the man was about to go on to the next place, he heard a commotion, horses arriving, and when he turned, he saw there were some men from the emperor. "Oh dear," he thought, "am I not meant to do this? I hope the emperor is not displeased with me," and said, "You must come with us right now." And so the man went with the emperor's men back to the emperor's palace. And he stood in front of the emperor and said, "I'm very sorry, I did not mean to offend you." "Oh, you've not offended me. You have not offended me. I think you can help me though. Would you paint me some gold?" Deep inside, the man knew that the emperor was not doing this to help other people. He was doing it to help himself. And he did not want to paint more gold for the emperor, who was already as rich as he needed to be. But he knew he had no choice. So he picked up his paintbrush and he painted lots and lots of gold coins. And then he stood back and said, "It's finished." And all the gold coins slid and slithered on the floor in front of the emperor. And he was delighted. "This is excellent," he said. "Now, let me see what you can do next for me. I know my wife needs a new necklace. Will you paint her one?" "Very well," said the man, but deep down he knew he did not want to help the emperor make more things for himself when there were people who needed help outside of the palace. He had no choice. He picked up his paintbrush, and we got your paintbrush, and he painted a beautiful, beautiful necklace until it was done. And he stood back and he said, "It's finished." And the necklace hung around the empress's wife neck, and it was beautiful and hung with diamonds and rubies and pearls. It shimmered in the light. "This is very, very good," said the man. "Now," he said, "tomorrow you will meet me down by the ocean." So the next day, the man went down to the ocean with the emperor, and he stood there. And the man said, "Can you see, just in the horizon, there is a distant land. I've heard there is treasure there. I want you to paint me a boat so that I can go to this land." "Very well." So he got his paintbrush and he painted a boat with beautiful sails, and it was ready. "It's finished," and the boat came to life and hovered around on the edge of the ocean. "Now," he said, "in that distant land there is supposed to be a mountain. Inside it there are jewels of every kind. It will make me the richest man in the world. Paint me that mountain with the jewels." And so the man painted the mountain, and inside were the jewels and all the riches of the world. And he stood back and he said, "It's finished." "Excellent," said the emperor. "Now I know when we go to that island it will be full of all those treasures and they will be mine. Now paint me all the most beautiful things in the world. Waterfalls, rainbows, lakes, mountains, jungles. I want them all on that island so they may be mine." The man picked up his paintbrush once more. He was very sad. The emperor was doing this all because he was selfish and he wanted those things for himself. He painted rainbows and waterfalls and jungles and beautiful animals, and he stood back and said, "It's finished." And he knew that over on the island, all those beautiful things would be there waiting for the emperor to claim as his own. Finally, the emperor said, "And now you may paint our journey. Paint us setting off into the distance to this beautiful island." And the emperor and his wife and all the family and all the people from the palace got on board. And the man thought, "What I am going to do is not kind, but it will serve the emperor right." He picked up his paintbrush and he painted. But he didn't paint a tranquil journey. Oh no, he painted a big storm with waves that came right up over the top of the boat. And when he stood back and he said, "It's finished," of course the picture came true. And as the emperor's boat set off, the waves got bigger and bigger and smashed the boat into pieces. And that is why all the wonders of the world are still there for me and you and everyone to enjoy. They don't belong to one person. They belong to us all. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic, everybody. Lovely to see that Jenny's watching, and Lenny, my brother, with my nieces. Hi, girls. I hope you're all okay. Right then, let's see what our last story is going to be, Lammy. Okay, so far we've been to Italy, we've been to China, so let's see which country we're going to next. We're going to Liberia, okay? So this story is an old folk tale from Liberia, and it's called Head, Arms, Body, Leg. Okay, it seems a bit strange when you tell it, but it makes sense in the end. Okay, here we go. Long, you ready to go? Long, 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 all together now. Long ago, far away from here in Liberia, there was a head, and that head lay on the ground. And the only way it could get food was by rolling itself into the trees and waiting for the fruit to fall, or by stretching out his tongue and getting things that he could. One day, the head saw a cherry tree, with yummy, yummy cherries. I love cherries. I don't know about you, but Lammy and I love cherries. And so he rolled himself into the tree. Ow! But some of the cherries did not fall down. He tried again. You ready to roll yourself? He rolled his head into the tree. Ow! What on earth are you doing? Came a voice from above. And when the head looked up, he saw two arms hanging in the tree. What are you doing there? Oh, just hanging around waiting to find someone. We can't see where we're going. I know, said Head. Come and join me. So the arms let go of the branches and they stuck themselves onto the side of the head. Right, we need to try and get some of those cherries. And so the arm and the head rolled, bumped into the tree, and some of the cherries came down. The arms fed the cherries into the head. Oh, they were yummy and tasty. I'm going to have a bit of a snooze now. So Head closed his eyes. Uh-oh, along came the road, came Body, bouncing and jumping and bouncing and jumping and bouncing and jumping, and bounced straight on to Head. Ow! What on earth is that? What do you mean, what's that? It's me, Body. I'm so sorry if I landed on you. I haven't got any eyes. Right, okay, let's see if we can sort this out. I'll be your eyes. So Head, with the arm sticking out, jumped and landed on the belly button, the tummy button of the Body. Right, we're sorted now. Now, I've heard that across this river, said Head, there's a mango tree with delicious, yummy, tasty mangoes. Now we've got Body and arms, we can now get across the river. How will we get to the river? We'll roll down the hill. So, Body, Head and arms rolled down the hill. Let's go. They rolled and they bumped and they rolled and they bumped and splashed into the water. And then arms and Body together worked and they swam across the water. At the other side of the river, they pulled themselves out and lay. Oh, that was tiring. Now, you need to find this mango tree. Just then they heard the sound of feet. Stamp, 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 stamp. And they looked up and saw legs. Over here, called the Head. We need you. What do you mean you need me? Come on over here. So legs came over to the sound and the Body decided to put itself together. But one leg joined itself on the Body and one on the head, and one of the arms moved. No, 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 this isn't right. We need to be the other way round. So legs went first, Body in the middle, arms and head on the top. Oh, that's better. We can see where we're going. We can go where we like. Let's go and get the mangoes. So they went to the tree and together the legs and the Body and the arm and the head all stretched up as high as they could into the tree and pulled down the ripe, tasty, yummy mango. That's delicious, said the Head. I couldn't have done it without you. I think we make a pretty good team. So Head, Body, arms and legs have been that way ever since. The end. Give yourselves a clap. Fantastic. Oh, lovely to see Kelly as well. I used to teach with Kelly. Lots of happy memories. So fantastic. Thank you so much for watching this morning. So this morning we have had a story from Rome, from Italy, from the Roman Empire. We've also been to China and had a story from China, and we've also been to Liberia and had a story from there. I hope you've enjoyed our Round the World today. We have certainly enjoyed sharing it with you. We're back on Friday with more stories from around the world, including one from Australia, so that will be lovely. Looking forward to that a lot. Also, we're back tomorrow to hear the final part of Lammy's Tales from the Travel Pouch at 10 o'clock on our Jude Lennon author page. You're very, very welcome to come along to that as well. It's been lovely to see you all. Should we do our goodbye song? Okay, if you've not done this before, don't worry, it's really easy. Even the grown-ups will be able to do it. Here we go. Goodbye everyone, nice to see you. Goodbye everyone, nice to see you. Goodbye everyone, nice to see you. Nice to see you today. Give yourselves a round of applause. Give yourselves a pat on the back and give yourselves a fan-dabby-dozy. And if you missed this live, it's going to be on my Facebook page for the rest of the day, but it also goes up onto my YouTube account, Little Lamb Tales, so feel free to pop in there as well. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, this morning. I hope you've had a nice time. Enjoy the rest of your day, and remember, if you get bored, use your imagination, read a book, or think of some lovely adventures in your head. Lovely. Take care. See you all soon. Bye-bye.